Hello and welcome, everybody. Are you ready for some Rocket League? I am. I'm definitely ready for some Rocket League. I'm Godalions. I'm joined here by the illustrious, the magnificent Mikey. Hello and welcome.
Well, that was one hell of an introduction. I was not prepared to be called. What did you just call me? What?
You're just
Mum,
amazing, and you're going to have to deal with that. I'm sorry, but we're ready to cast some Rocket League. Are you ready to cast some Rocket League? Are everybody? Is everybody ready to watch some Rocket League?
absolutely. This is going to be a really, really good game. I'm so excited. Snakebite Venom versus Ascension Kyrios. I cannot wait for this series.
Yeah, as I look at both the teams, they're kind of Ascension is looking pretty okay during this entire thing up till now. They're third place at the moment. They've played a little bit less games than the number one place, but they haven't lost one of them. What any games? Ascension lost one game. And on the other hand, we have Snakebite, who has played 5 games, but only won 2 of them. So for Snakebite, this is a trying to get a return to form to try and look to not drop down even further. And for Ascension, it's going to be trying to stay up where they are and trying to move even further up compared to other teams that are just below them and are looking to take them down.
Yeah, I think if we, looking at Division 1.2, it's a fairly competitive division. It's, pretty much the top end of ECC at the minute. And Snakebite Venom, they haven't necessarily had the best start to the game, at the best start to the season. So they're going to be looking to get back on it really and get that momentum. So they're going to be here. They're going to be ready to fight, and they, if they've got the right mindset, they have all the ability to take down that Ascension Krios roster.
Yeah, very true. I mean, for me, one of the first times I got a chance to get in here for um, to cast for Slipstream, to cast for ECC, was when I had the pleasure to cast with Mochtfish. So for me, there's always a bit of a bit of a bias there towards him and just him introducing me to this great group of people to have to work here. But on the other hand, you see Cherry and we see Kersey, which are very strong, like two very strong players as well. So it's really going to be wondering how this is going to go.
Yeah, I think it could really go either way. I honestly, I really want Ascension Krios to lose just so I can bully Sherry about it for like a week. But I feel like Ascension Krios have got that ability to take the win, and I don't think Snakebite Venom are gonna have much of a. They're just not gonna be there to take it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that can be very detrimental to a team. Like you just know you're not going to be able to win that one. You know you're not going to be looking good enough to get through this and beat a team that is above you. But on the other hand, if you're the underdog, it don't matter, right? You can just play however you want and feel good about it, and that can sometimes give you an edge in just how you're playing and how your mindset works.
Yeah, we did see that earlier in the season with a lot of underdog stories, and my thing was I always rooted for the underdog, and then they all kept letting me down. So I've given up on that thought. But if you're the underdog, you're not necessarily expected to get the victory. You've got to be like, okay, we can do this. We can switch up any method of play. We try different things, get a feel for how the opposition plays, and you got to be very, very quick off the bat to maybe surprise them and get Ascension Krios off the bat, get that goal, and maybe tap into some complacency that could be there.
Yeah, if you can get into that complacency, get into their heads, you can start pushing them down further and further through that. So it's all about that mental warfare then, especially if you are the team that's not looking better on paper, you need to have that edge somewhere else. So also playing aggressive or throwing up other things, you can get just a very solid rotation going and then just disrupt the better players. Just demo them, just bump them, look at them and say, you're not going to be able to play your amazing level of Rocket League because we're going to stomp you down every time you try.
Yeah,
And
I think if it keeps going like that, and if that is the one where it's over and over again, then eventually it does get to you. And if you can keep on top and keep that mentality on point, anybody can really take it at any given time.
yep, with that, there is always the chance of taking at least a game. And once that game starts, once you get that first game, it can start rolling on and on into more and more wins. And um, as we are here and we have to like fill this void every once in a while, there's a couple of subjects I always like to talk about. How do you feel about demos in the current meta, the way people are playing?
Right. I am always a big fan of demo plays, and everybody else hates on it. They really do. But I am like, if you're smart enough to take somebody out of play and to stop them going for that ball, fair play to you. Fair play for taking them out of that and getting it downfield and, completely disrupting that rotation. Like, that is a fairly good way of breaking down that play, especially if you're an underdog team. If you take somebody out, you're evening that up as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, demos, and for me though, it comes down to how good defenders have gotten these days. From any point, you can know that a defender has most of the shots, unless you are like top corner every time, and know you can hit that with like precision and power. You're not going to be able to get past any of these like very good defenders. So blowing them up is probably the easiest way to get that out of the way and just lower the difficulty of the shots, but also increase your chances of actually scoring.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think when you've got to this point though, is a lot of the time these defenders are going to be fairly used to that. Um, they're going to be fairly used to having that difficulty in having that sort of that play there, so to speak. Like, if you're a defender, you're gonna get used to them demo plays if they keep coming. But for example, in this game, we've got Ascension Kyrios versus Snakebite Venom. Ascension Kyrios, their MMR is higher than Snakebite Venom's. On paper, Ascension Kyrios should take this, but Snakebite Venom, if you're their roster, disrupting that play by getting them demo plays, that could work really well in your favor and switch it up. Because if there's any complacency there whatsoever, you can capitalize on that and take people out completely and just go for it.
Yeah, and the mental warfare of it is always like a good thing to see as well. The idea of working through that and working with that is just very nice. Also, if we are going to go in a little bit more of a deep dive into tactics and stuff like that, one of the other things that could be very interesting is passing plays. What kind of passing plays do you like? Do you like them off the wall or off the backboard or more like smoother infield passing kind of things?
I I am not really that fussed by it. I am just like, please, can you actually do it? Please, can you get them passing plays in? Because if you're not going to get them passing plays in, then then you're just gonna get the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, true. If that's one of those things you notice with teams that love to do their passing plays, you kind of know where the ball is going because they are going to pass it to a teammate. So you just look where their teammates are, and you know the ball is going. You can easily get in between that. And once you stop a passing play from happening, you usually have a 2v1 or even a 3v1 counter attack going. That could very quickly turn the tide of any type of game. And yeah, a lot of things are being fixed at the moment. So I'm happy that all of you are here, are patient, and of course, we could tell a bit about ourselves as well. Like Mikey, you're a caster here, and I've seen you a lot of other places. What is your like? If you have to describe yourself in one word, what would that word be?
A bot. Like, I cannot play the game to save my life, but I think if you're gonna go for it, you're gonna go for it. As much as I always turn around and I say you should just go for it and you should just have fun with it. And at the end of the day, as much as we're in competitive, right, and it is a competitive sort of thing, if you go for it and you just go for these different passing plays and things like that, as much as I just want to be able to scream the word Houdini in the middle of a game and yeet and all that, that's sort of the thing that I'm sort of known for at this point. Um, I just want to see something that's a little bit different, something that's like a passing play coming off the wall into the center or something, like some Houdini play, something that's like, damn, that was epic, as opposed to sort of a lot of the time when you just see sort of the same thing over and over again of just trying to break down that wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can definitely see what you mean by just having something surprising happening, something extra and something fancy. The idea of just standard play, hitting the ball back and forth until somebody misses the ball and the ball goes in and is boring. You don't want to see that. You want to have those magical moments, that extra tricks and things you love to see from different players. And here's the question: can they get that done? Can they look at it and find a way to make it work? Because that is it. If you have Mikey, like if you're playing a game, you have Mikey as one of your casters, and he yells that magical Houdini word, you know you did something right. So that's something that people can, like, players can all aspire to and try to get to, I think.
Yeah, and I think well, mind you, I thought a basic play was a Houdini when I first started this. But I think if you're just going to switch it up, be a bit more mechanical with what you're doing, you're by far, that's how you're going to improve. A lot of the time you see a lot of players stick to just trying to break down the defense and trying to get it past people. And then it's like, well, that's not going to work, is it? Because you're not going to improve doing that. You might improve in terms of spacing and in terms of what you need to do at the sort of the beginning. But how are you going to improve if you're going to go against, for example, if you're going to go against an RLCS team, right? You know they're going to be doing passing plays in the air. They're going to be doing them Houdini things. And for me, if I'm looking at it and you need to be doing something like that to improve yourself and get better and get on their level, you have to elevate yourself to the point of trying to do the things that they can do, practice the things that they can do, because then eventually, practice makes perfect, and eventually you'll get the hang of that.
Very, very true. And it also depends on what kind of team you're looking at, especially on RLCS level, because you have a player or a team like Renault Vitality that have Alpha 54 as a player that on his own can just do magical things. It doesn't need passing plays. That just creates so much space for his team that K-Dop and Ferry can just follow up and hit easy shots. Or, Alpha can all do it himself as well when he needs to. But on the other hand, a team like BDS, who's looking extremely strong now, has three magical, like, ones players that have now learned to pass and play the more rotational style play, but can still do extra things with the ball. And I think that's an important thing. Extra. The idea of not just getting one touch on the ball, but getting a second and a third, outplaying one, two, maybe all three players. That is what you want to see. And when you have a team that has one of those players, funnel the ball to them. If you have two, let them do the work. If you have all three, make sure they rotate back and play defensively, because if you don't, you're going to give away a lot of goals. But if you do, you have such a strong team. So individual play and mechanics right now seem to be the highest level of Rocket League we can be looking at. And hopefully that will translate into more team play later down the line.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think if you're at the point of a lot of the teams competing in ECC, they want to be up there with the level of RLCS and the teams competing in that. A lot of them, the reality is right now aren't necessarily at that spot. So it's kind of like, okay, how can we get there? If you're a team, for example, let's just because they're competing today, Snakebite Venom. If you're Snakebite's Venom team, and not even to RLCS level, if you want to take it to the next division, Division 1.1, what do you do now to get there?
It's really looking at your team and looking at what you can improve both individually and as a team. Things like a coach can help with this. Things like a sports psychologist can help with this. Those are the kind of things you can work on to get better. It is a grind to move on, and I think the biggest thing for most players, and they don't really like to hear it, is go play ones. If you want to be in a top level team, if you want to be a top level player, go into ones. Get through your frustration, because by getting your individual skill on that top 100 leaderboard, you know you can perform on the level of RLCS players. But that is like the it is one of the hardest things to try and get to. And I just know that a lot of people just aren't very keen on it, but I think it's a missed opportunity if you don't.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think, as much as I am the first person to say you should do this, should do that, I never play ones, and I don't play ones because it stresses me out because everybody just beats me. But if I want, if a team wants to improve, or even just a one player, right? If you're an individual player and you want to improve, you have got to start getting into them games and getting into things like ones, because if you can't be good on your own, how are you going to be good as part of a team? So if you're playing ones and you get really, really good at ones, and then you get really, really good at twos, for example, eventually you're going to get really, really good at threes. And then you start working with your team to improve what you're doing with that specific team. You will get there. It is just a case of actually putting in that time and set aside in that time to do ones, to practice at it, and to just grind. Because if you don't grind and you don't practice them specific things, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and get a coach and maybe go to like some streamers that can give you advice. Like maybe me. I've given reasonable advice. Just go look me up and other people on Twitch. You can do it. But now we're here. We finally got there. The grind is over. Let's go enjoy some Rocket League. We're going into Ascension Kyrios versus Snakebite Venom.
Absolutely, it's going to be an insane game. As Sherry gets a good block there. It's sort of just sat in the middle at the minute. It's going back towards the Snakebite Venom goal. It's going to sit in the corner now with the bump coming off the backboard off the corner. And it is just sat in that corner, and the blocks are coming in left, right, and centre onto the ball to stop it going in there. Chuko going for a flip. Ends up sending it into the middle, but a great clear comes in from Dedo. Sherry with a great catch, though, gets the flick up to Kersey. Kersey, I don't know if he actually managed to hit that, but a good save there from Max. And now it's going to come back in. It's going to try and go for the ground pinch, unable to do so as the block comes in yet again. And at the moment, it does seem that they're trying to figure out what they want to be doing, and Snakebite Venom have really been stuck in their own area at this point.
Yeah, they're being pushed back at every single moment because the touches they're getting out of defense are just not good enough. There's nobody following up on the weak touches they get for clears. And if someone does go for a touch there, they get beat. We see Chuko here as well getting that touch again. It drops away, and now Cherry gets his chance. Kersey is the next one. And they just follow each other up, but a mistake can happen, and that could mean a chance now for Snakebite.
Absolutely, and hopefully Snakebite are able to do something as it comes into the centre yet again, but Kersey is going to read that perfectly and gets the block. Sends it downfield, but Dedo with another block there, and Sherry just gets bumped out of the way there. A good pinch comes in from him, and Chuko is just going to settle there for a minute. The shot comes in, and a fairly easy save for Lafote. And the cross comes in yet again. Lafote is just there to block it again, but Chuko's going to keep it over there. It is still in the air. It's still in that area. It comes in yet again. That comes in, the shot is there. Is that in? That is in the top corner. A great shot from Sherry, and it is 1-0 to Ascension Kyrios.
Standing still in the goal, waiting for the shot to happen is never where you want to be. I repeat it often enough, but defending from back post is usually a little bit easier. You also have a chance to go up the wall and save a longer shot coming to the backboard. Positioning, not the greatest, but after so much pressure, it was almost inevitable that the ball was going to go in. And it goes in again.
Absolutely, and you just say it, a great kickoff there, and Kersey's just there to capitalize on it, and unfortunately, the Snakebite Venom team not quick enough to do anything with it, and Ascension Kyrios suddenly find themselves 2-0 up.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate touch from one of the Snakebite Venom players as well that redirected the ball to their own goal. So it's not only that they are kind of being under pressure, they just really don't know where to be at times, and that could lead to big mistakes. Here again, long clear to the side, doesn't get followed up on. Now finally a pass with a good doink, it goes to the other side, and Chuko needs to be the one that saves that one. Mockfish now tries to extend that one off the corner, but Kersey is of course in goal. Make sure that doesn't get anywhere dangerous. A double commit now could lead to a good chance. Mockfish a little bit above it, isn't able to follow up. The chance was there, the finish was not. Elegance not on the side of Snakebite Venom.
Oh, Mockfish's going to be so disappointed with that. It was literally just in front of the net. He just had to tap it in, and he just wasn't able to, and that is unfortunate. Chuko's going to go for an edgeable. Mox reads that perfectly. And it is back and forth yet again. And this is the thing that we're talking about. We're just seeing it getting passed and blocked over and over again. We were just talking about this before. And that was a great pass coming in from Sherry. And Kersey slots it home. And I don't think I'm going to be able to bully Sherry next week about the loss here.
No, it might not be the case. But the big difference, the big thing we see here, the defining factor for Snakebite against Ascension here is that there's no follow-up for Snakebite. You saw it, the ball was in a perfect position, but Mockface had to try to do it himself. And here on Ascension Kyrios, we saw the follow-up every single time. Another person is going to go there. He's going to get, next person is going to get the touch, then the next, and then the next. And that way you have people with momentum taking the shots instead of somebody trying and hoping to be in the right position. So control and follow-up is really what Snakebite needs to start doing a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Ooh, pass.
That was a great pass. Going back and forth in the corner, stuck in the corner. The net is open. Oh, Lafote with a great rotation though, able to just get that block. Dead is going to take it up. He's going to go for it. Looks like he's out of boost. Gets the flip reset, coming back off. Sherry's with a great hit. Jose's going to hit it up yet again. Chuko's going to try and follow that up, but Lafote with a very dangerous hit right there. Bouncing it off the backboard. Sherry's going to send it into the middle again, and it is back and forth again. The counter-attack is on. Can the Snakebite Venom roster make a comeback in game number 1?
It seems that they really want to try. They are not going to give up yet because they just work through. They're just working through their issues a little bit better now. Every touch they get, they have somebody trying to follow up. They have somebody trying to pull up pressure, and that just works in such an advantage for them. They are keeping the net clean for now. Last 20 seconds, still a little bit risky. The miss here happens, and if they can get this one in, that's a good start. But Juko's there, and not able to get the finish there for Snakebite.
Absolutely, and here's me being like, we watching bronze players. The whiffs came in left, right, and center right there. Good block though from Chuko, and Ascension Kyrios is going to take game number 1 3-0.
Yeah, Ascension doing pretty good work here. Snakebite Venom wasn't bad, I gotta say. They weren't playing like at. I wasn't convinced that Snakebite was going to completely lose this. Yes, the goals looked detrimental, but once those goals after the play after that looked good for Snakebite. They had small chances and they had a decent defense with follow-up touches from most of their clears. So for Snakebite, it's starting to look up. They could start working back in this. If they can at least keep the goal clean for the first 3 minutes now, then they can start working on the Ascension Kyrios defense and trying to get it past them and into their net for at least a lead.
Yeah, and I think the further into the series we get, the more the more warmed up. Like they were sat waiting for a while, so hopefully they are warming up and getting the feel for it once again. So coming back in to the Snakebite Venom goal, unable to do anything. And Lafote looks a little bit lost, in the net a few times. We saw it before where he just sat in the net and just watched it go in. And it
Chance here.
Absolutely great shot there. But it does seem that he is a little bit just lost in that net.
Yeah, you are very right. He's just standing there, and I mean, you could call that a great shot. I would say it's kind of a lackluster one. Good chance wasted for them, but they are looking to press up once again. Durdog trying to get the pass into midfield, gets it on the net even, and Cherry has to save that one. Curse follows that one up, gets it over the line, and we are in the middle. Juko not able to be beat. Durdog is faster. Looking for that extra touch. It rolls towards the net once again, but there's no speed on the shots, and Snakebite needs that speed to get past the defense, because for now, there's always a defender there. So bumps and demos are coming out for Mockface, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah, they do give up possession fairly easily. We've just seen it again. And, you were just talking about speed there, but what about just slowing the pace of the game down as the fake comes in there? Just slowing the pace of the game down, controlling that possession, and not rushing it so much.
I love what you're saying there. I had a discussion with another caster yesterday about calling a game slow or a team that's playing slower, and I don't think that's a good word for it because it sounds so negative, because this game is mostly about speed, but it's more controlled. That's the thing we were looking for. It's exactly what you said, and I think that's important. Just more control, but from control need to come good shots, and it's mostly the speed on the shots that I want to see be better for Snakebite Venom, because for now it's just rolling towards net, and when someone's home, that's not going to be threatening.
Yeah, I suppose methodical. Methodical and controlled is the word, not necessarily slow. But yeah, I do see what you mean. I think they do have to have the power and the speed, as the net is just wide open. And I'm not too sure what happened there, but Ascension, Kyrios, just the net. Oh, that's disappointing. What a double commit. And he leaves the net wide open for Lafote to just dunk it in.
Yeah, I think for me, there's always this, you know, the Jawas from Star Wars. They say, it always sounds like they say, Houdini! And this seemed like one of those moments where one of the players from Ascension wanted to do a good move, but failed. But now they counter pretty quickly and tie the series back up.
Absolutely. They were just like, nope, sorry, you had the opportunity, we're going to capitalize on it. And unfortunate for Markfish then, unable to do anything with it as he tries to come off the backboard. And the game is all evened up very, very quickly, you know. They recognized that net was wide open, and they just said, no, that's not how this is going to go down.
Yep, not going to go down like that. They have their own ways of working through this. And here, another one. The speed is there. The shot is accurate, and Kersey takes the 2-1 for Ascension Kyrios.
Now, we were speaking before the game about passing plays, and that was a great one right there. What a play. Just very, very simple, and noticing them gaps. That's what you've got to do, and it is 2-1 to Ascension Kyrios in game number 2.
Yeah, Kyrios wanted to finish this off quickly, looking to take game 2 and then just go for the full sweep. Of course, there's still a chance Snakebite can do it. I mean, Dignitas did it today against Team BDS, so why can't Snakebite?
Very, very true, actually, if you think about that. This is Rocket League, and we've said it so many times, anything can happen in Rocket League.
Yeah, anything is now trying to happen. Lafote trying to get the ball in front of the net. Does not make good contact, but Moxfish can try it again. Bounces into midfield. It's Chuko who takes control to the side. Now goes up the wall. Tries to keep it low. Durdog with a decent 50. Lafote with the follow-up. Now a passing play can happen. Durdog can get that ball, but gets dunked by Cherry. And Moxfish needs to take control in the corner.
Okay, that was a very, very wasted opportunity right there. It's coming back in yet again, and it is very back and forth. It seems to be like what one team gets one chance and then it just shoots to the other end and they get the chance. And it does seem like it's just the counter-attack over and over again at the moment. And if you are Snakebite Venom, what do you do to tie this up really quickly?
Score. But aside from the obvious, it's mostly keeping themselves up the way they did. It is singular mistakes that give away the goals, but they do make chances to create goals of them of their own. So if they can do that a little bit more, then they are going to be looking a lot stronger. Maybe not for this game, because again, if they cannot keep their net clean, they're not strong enough to go for multiple goals, I think, because they just don't have the pressure. They do not keep the ball up very well, but now they have a good chance. Here is Durdog, but misses his chance for a good shot. The photo trying to run interference, does not get it either, and Moxface is the one that needs to play it away. Now, good pass to Durdog, goes into midfield, but Chuko is there to just finish that off.
Yeah, it just all went wrong, didn't it, really? They just left that net wide open. I don't know how many times I've said it, you can't do that. You can't leave the net wide open, because if one player makes a mistake, or if one player gets demoed, as we just saw there, you know, that net is just open and that goal is inevitably coming in. 30 seconds left of the game. Can Snakebite Venom bring it back?
It is unlikely with the amount of time that is left. We haven't seen him score a lot of goals yet, so chances are low on this one, I think, but maybe we can see a miracle happen. Maybe it can still do well. They're getting in front of the passing plays from Ascension, and that's one of those keys that they need to do. Good touch. Lafota gets it on net, but it's again slow. Kersey's not able to save it. It goes in. We could see one more goal.
2 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds, and I can't believe Kersey was unable to do anything about that. And that he's going to be very disappointed with that. 3-2. We're going to need a kick-off goal from Snakebite Venom if they want to take this to overtime.
Yeah, and here we have the bounce up. A good chance. Cherry tries to drop that down, but it's actually a good pass. And that could have been horror, but it wasn't. And Ascension Kyrios takes game number 2 as well and is now looking to sweep the series.
Absolutely. Ascension Kyrios 2-0 up. And let's just put that game into perspective. Snakebite Venom, they didn't necessarily have a bad game. It was more just Ascension Kyrios capitalized on every single little mistake that was made. And you can't, if you're Snakebite Venom, you can't let them do that at this point.
Nope, you just can't. You just can't. I mean, I think there's hope for Snakebite though. They are not playing bad. They are, they're getting chances here and there. So I gotta say, if they can push that up, they could do it. But the most important step is making sure Ascension does not get those kind of shots free. You always want to have someone challenge that ball. So rotation needs to be tight, needs to make sure that it's away from the ball and then quickly back to net so they can challenge those touches. Don't wait in net. No, challenge that ball. Make sure they don't get a free shot, because a free shot is easy, but getting a hand in the face always makes that harder.
Absolutely. And we are in game number 3. Ascension Kyrios are in the lead 2-0. And if Snakebite Venom want to come back from this, they are going to have to hit a reverse sweep to get that victory.
Yep, get out your counter broom. It could be here. The janitor's revving up before Snakebite. The counter sweep could happen.
Absolutely. And, you said it pretty much. You have to be able to come out of the net and actually challenge that, and that was not good enough of a challenge to stop that goal from going in. And Snakebite Venom are up 1-0 in game number 3. And could we be seeing a reverse sweep fairly soon? Everything is possible, but a great demo comes in from Sherry, but unable to capitalize on setup. Match can send it into the middle. Sherry with a clearance, and that clearance is a right boomer. It hits the sidewall. Sherry with too much power, and that was another great opportunity that they just haven't capitalized on right there.
No, I mean, if they don't capitalize on some opportunities, that's not the worst, because they get a lot of them anyway. But now, Durdok getting a bit of a chance does not get the right touch for it. So Cherry has to extend it on, gets it past one. The Fote lets it go as well. Durdok is the one who eventually clears it, but it's Juko still in the middle. Kersey extends that one on, and here's the chance. Cherry off the backboard. Lafote extends it even further. Does not go anywhere, but the chances are there. Lafote with a good block, but the pressure is not over yet. You see the Blues all panicking in front of net. Can they keep this one out, or are they going to fall against the relentless pressure of Ascension?
Is possible, and I think how did it not go in? And the shot comes in. What a save from Kersey, bouncing it off the woodwork, off that crossbar, keeping that out of the net. And the counter attack is on as Chuko sends it into the middle. It is in the middle, and a save comes in from Lafote. That was exactly what you were talking about a minute ago, coming out and challenging in it. And Lafote, clearly listening to your advice, he came out, he challenged it, and got that save.
Yeah, and Lafote, the player that looked a bit sketchy, waited in goal a lot, was very afraid to move up. But here Chuko now has a bit of a chance. Not enough mustard on the shot. The pass into midfield happens once again. Muckfist tries to extend it, gets a good touch there, but Kersey's already on the backboard, so there's no chance for them to get anywhere near that. Good pass to Muckfist, does not make contact, and Chuko now the one that needs to bring that ball away. Gets it to Cherry eventually, but Lafote is the one that gets it back to the orange side.
Yeah, the mechanical plays are coming in quick and fast. They are really trying some team plays. They're trying with, we saw Kersey with the air dribble, and the net is wide open, but it bounces off the crossbar. Not the crossbar, sorry, the post. How unfortunate that was. But the counter-attack is on fairly quickly, but, just letting go of possession. Going back in, Kersey with the block. Derdo spawns in the correct place, the absolutely best place he could be to block it, but it's coming in again. Sherry's going to go for it. Marchfish with a block, and Chuko's going to go and send it back, and it is back and forth like a game of ping pong right now. Lafote's going to dribble it. Is he going to try and go for a flick here? Oh, he went for the fake, but Chuko is able to get a fairly easy block there. Lafote's going to send it back in to the middle, but it is just stuck there, and the pressure is on from Snakebite Venom, trying to get a second goal. 1-0 up in this game, 2-0 down in the series. The reverse sweep is what they are looking to do.
Yeah, but they're all sticking in that corner a little bit too much for my liking, and that could mean a quick counterattack, and it's happening. Out a brief flip there from Chuko West, blocked by Mockfish, but there's a lot of room. Durdok cannot get that touch. Chuko's going to drop it down. It goes against the post. They miss a crucial shot. They're still ahead. Snakebite is still alive. They are doing this, and the post is helping.
Absolutely. That post is turning in to their best friend, but the shot is in, and Cherry able to slot it home, and it is all even in game number 3.
Yeah, the left post might be your friend, but the right post is obviously an imposter. That was super sus, but Cherry is the one that's able to finish it by the end of it. Good vote, good call, and we are all tied up with 1:15 left.
After that reference, am I allowed to vote you off for being the imposter?
Yes? You're allowed to be wrong, but yes?
You're allowed to be wrong! The pass is coming in yet again. What a great block. And Curtis is going to send it in, but unable to do so as the block is there, but Sherry picks up the boost. And looked like he got blocked as he tried to go up for it. Mark Vickers can come out of net and stop that there. Sherry is just going to try and send it. Chuko comes off the wall. Dedo is going for it, but the block is there. Sherry with a great rotation. As the demo comes in from Dedo on Chuko, it is sent into the middle. Is that a shot? No, it's wide on the back post. Mark Vickers is going to send it into the middle. It's sent back again. What a play!
That was a nice one. Definitely looking to take control. They keep calm and get the goal. Everybody from Ascension was out on holiday. They were already looking for the ball upfield, but it was still at their net, and the finish from Snakebite is good. They get their lead back.
That is what they need if they want any chance of taking the series. What a play that was. All 3 members of the team playing a part in that. Ooh, that made me so nervous. I really thought they'd lost that little Lafote is able to get that save. The pressure is still on though. 2-1. The shot is there, but the block is there yet again. And it is... Oh, this is dangerous. 7 seconds on the clock. Coming back into the middle. Lafote is going to get the fairly easy clear. Chuko's going to get the block. He's coming back in. Sherry sends it back downfield. The shot is there from Curtis. Thank God the timer ran out. Otherwise, that would have been game, set, and match.
Snakebite bites their lip in shock and horror as they see the ball going towards their net. At the end of the day, Snakebite showed what they can do. They showed that they have control when they need to, and I think that's an important thing. I think it's very important for them to keep believing in this kind of play because they can do it compared to Ascension that maybe sat on their laurels just a little bit too much. They weren't expecting enough from Snakebite, and therefore they were not ready for better passing plays and better control. Once Lafote specifically, we talked about him staying in net too much and playing very scared. Once he got out and started to put in work, that's when we saw the change. Where were you when Snakebite came back?
Yeah, what a game that was. Game number 4. Are they going to try to complete the reverse sweep? That was a very dangerous, but Lafote able to just pinch it against the post as it's coming back off the wall now. Kez is going to go up for that. The block comes in from Dedo though, and it is still in the middle. But the hit comes in from Snakebite Venom, and the clear is yet again there from Sherry. It's coming back in for another time. He gets a great touch on it, send it into the middle. But the Ascension Kyrios defender is just able to get a fairly easy block on that. And that could have been very dangerous as Kersey just goes for it. It looked like he tried to pinch it against the wall and pinch it in, but isn't able to do so. And, 40 seconds into this game, and there we have it. There is the goal that they were just going for. And Sherry is able to slot it home, and it is 1-0 to Ascension Kyrios in game 4.
Yeah, Ascension has the big speed advantage. When they start going full throttle, you just know that Snakebite's going to be one step behind when it comes to actual speed. Their positioning is not ready for that kind of rotation, but when they rotate well, Snakebite can kind of keep up, and if they can keep doing that, they can probably find that one goal to tie them back up.
Yeah, and that's all they need. A great flick comes in to set it up. It is set up, but Sherry gets a touch on that.
Yeah, the speed wasn't really there for that attack, but now Lafote gonna do it again. The man, the myth, the legend, he pops it past the defenders and gets it in. Here we are, Lafote tying it back up for Snakebite.
Absolutely, Lafote. Look at that. He just slotted that home very, very easily, and he's got to be happy with that, and it is all even. The reverse sweep could potentially be back on for Snakebite Venom now as we go into the kickoff. Dedo wins the kickoff, but Chuko steals it, sends it back downfield. Lafote with a great block. In comes Keze to block that again. He tries to block it again. It is centered though. It is in the center. Sherry is up there. Sherry with the block. Markfish is going to send it into the middle. It is stuck there yet again. Sherry is trying to do something with it. Looks like he's going to take it up the wall. He sends it back into the middle. Deado sends it out yet again though. And it is just back and forth right now of blocks and sending it into the middle. 3 minutes on the clock. And it's sent into the middle again, but a little bit too fast after that block. And Markfish is going to try and send it downfield. The air dribble is there. Keze's going to go for it. He's going to go for the extra touch. It is in the center. But the defenders are there at the perfect time to block that.
Yeah, they do not get the chance to finish that one off well enough, but the time is still there for either team here. A good chance. Pass into midfield. Kersey with a shot. A little bit too high, and Lafote is the one to play to the side, but the pressure still on. Moxfish tries to get it away. Gets it to Lafote, but not quite as Terry gets in between. The bump off the backboard. Chuko really waiting for that. Trying to pass into midfield to Kersey. Kersey off the backboard once again, and it doesn't go anywhere. But good flying there, and Durdok is the one that needs to come out of nowhere to save that ball. Now, Bumps and Demos trying to beat the thing for Moxfish and friends. They try to work it further on, but they can't, and the defense is on once again. This is risky. Chuko not able to get it on target. Bounces away, and danger might be away for a second, but it's still scary here for Snakebite.
Yeah, it is very scary indeed. 2 minutes, 5 seconds off the clock. The shot comes in from Sherry. Is anybody going to be there? And Lafote is there to just get rid of that. Demo comes in from Chuko, though. And, you know, the time is ticking. If you were the Snakebite Venom roster, you are just trying to tick down that timer as much as possible. Potentially get a reset with it that comes with the overtime. But you've still got a long way to go to even get there. And they have got to stop the pressure. Because I've said it time and time again. If you keep breaking down a brick wall, eventually it will crumble.
Yep. If you just, even with your fist, you can still get through it if you are just tenacious enough. And for now, Ascension showing the tenacity needed to try and break down the defense. But for now, Snakebite is holding. Snakebite is ready. The passing plays are definitely there, but they're not deadly enough. They're not tight enough to really pose a threat.
Yeah, that is a problem. For Snakebite Venom, they need to get them. They need to just get it together. They need to get their team plays more on point. The net is left wide open though, but Matchfix is just there to get the block. And it is back and forth again. 55 seconds on the clock. The pass comes in. Lafote's got no boost to work with here. He does pick up a mini boost though, and it is sent straight back downfield. And not having that boost there may have cost them a little bit.
Yeah, boost getting stolen and just being drowned out a little bit as well. That's what pressure does to you. Here, Chuko, good chance. Moxfish gets past one, but Lafote is still there. They are still fighting. Snakebite is not out yet. They don't want to give up, and with that last bit of chance, here's their attack now. Bounces off of the corner. Good touch there from Moxfish. Not high enough. The block from Durdok is there. A sneaky little moment, and it gets through.
Absolutely. What a little play that was. A great block from Durdok to just slot that home. Snakebite Venom, you know, they were oppressed in that corner for a long time there, but they have managed to withstand that. And it turns out that that wall that we were talking about is made of iron as they keep it out. And as I say that, the shot comes in, but Moxfic is there to get the block. 10 seconds on the clock. They are going for that reverse sweep, and the pressure is back on. But Lafote with a great save, just able to save that fairly easily. Comes back into the middle. The clearance comes in yet again. Chugo's going to try and keep it up, but it is slotted down. What a game of Rocket League that was, and Lafote played extremely well.
Yep. So, here's the thing. Are Snakebite going to do what Dignitas couldn't? Get into that game 5 and then finish the job of the reverse sweep? Or is it Ascension Kyrios that is able to come back here? Because for now, it seems like Snakebite has found the way to push through, where Ascension Kyrios is just nowhere the level we saw them in the first 2 games.
Yeah, and I think at that point, you know, they have. I'm kind of surprised that they managed to make it through that. That pressure from Ascension Kyrios was there, and I think if you're Snakebite Venom, you've got to do something different. Even though they managed to just scrape through that game, you cannot have that, because eventually they will just break it down and get that extra goal that they need. So if you are now, if you're Snakebite Venom, you've got to try and switch it up. Maybe try some more passing plays. They did really well with the passing plays in the first few games. Try a few more of them, play a bit more aggressive, be a bit quicker, and go for some demos and switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, stop underestimating your opponent. They have shown you what they can do. Here, again, these passing plays, they look decent, but they just don't connect well enough to make the shot worthwhile. And that is what's getting them right now. Lafote looking for that long clear, gets it to Cherry, who tries to get it under control, isn't able to. So now Kersey needs to make that save. Lafote lets it go. Jerry now with an open net. Him versus the net. Bear Grylls versus Wild, but this time it isn't fake. We get it in. Cherry scores the goal that could save his team.
Absolutely. That one goal could be the shutdown to the reverse sweep. And this Classico is in a game 5. Sherry getting that goal off the bat. 30 seconds into the game. And it is all to play for. Snakebite Venom are really trying to prove something here as it comes in. Lafote tries to go for the shot, but Kersey with a fairly great block. Daredart comes in again for a shot, and Sherry with the block. And there is always just one person there. You got to try some demo plays, got to try some team plays. You know, I said it earlier, they've got to switch it up.
Well, they got to change their formula a little bit, but for now, again, small mistakes happening here. So another chance for Durdog, who gets the pass in front of the net, but nobody finishing that off. Kersey gets a bit of a back pass, does not work, so Cherry has to follow it up to Chuko, gets that to the backboard, drops a little bit awkward, and now it's Lafote, who gets bumped away for his troubles, but command is for the blue team, and they're not trying to look for something fancy. Lafote really working up that fancy meter, but doesn't get a good touch to extend that attack.
Absolutely. And it is, oh, what a series this has been so far. And it is coming in yet again. Chuko's going to send it to the middle. It is back in the middle. Oh, and it is sent just wide over. Mark's just there to catch it on the other end. He's going to send it down. He gets the flick. He's going to try something else there. He's going to bounce it off the corner, but Chuko is there to just block it again, and it is every time there is somebody there to block it, as Mark Fitch just gets a block on his own teammate there. Bit of an awkward moment between them.
Just a bit of a love tap, just to get some shirt back. That ass slap, you could say. The moment where you go, get on it, mate. You can do it. We believe. Let's go. And just get that hype and that fire back into your team. Because for now, it seems like Snakebite is losing a bit of their spirit. They looked so great, but Ascension has come back and are looking strong. They do not want to throw away the sweep chance completely and even get reverse swept. You don't want that to happen, because as we already heard, Cherry will not live it down from Mikey if it does happen.
Oh, he will not. I will be... Wait until I'm next casting with him, like, yep, like that reverse sweep that you did. Oh, wait, he didn't. But, Lafote is going to try and block it. He's going to come off the wall there. And at the minute, for Snakebite, you know, we spoke about this before, but it comes in, and I did not realise it was somebody in the net. And Sherry is there to block it, but it is coming in once again. And it is just, you know, we spoke about just switching up their formula a little bit. What specifically do they need to do at this point?
For Snakebite, the biggest change should be they are now trying to go for a little bit too much of that speedy play and are not getting the clearest of touches here. Again, Durdog puts that to the wrong side. You want to challenge them and make unorthodox passes, because you're now being read by your opponent, and that means you need to switch up what you're doing a little bit just to throw them off again. Because if they can read whatever you're doing at every single point, you just can't do anything right. But here's a chance, but the post is there. Both players not getting it here. Third chance now for Lafote, who tries to get it in as well. Mockfish doesn't get the bump. It falls in front of net again, but the clear is there, and Cherry takes it away from danger. 1 minute left. Snakebite still alive, but it could be the spasms of an already dead serpent.
Yeah, you're gonna need some more Venom if you are Snakebite Venom at this point to send it in to the goal. You know, the pressure is back on. They seem to have got their groove back a little bit. But 1 minute left. Is it too little, too late? Anything can happen, and only time will tell. Great little hit from Chuko there. Sends it back towards the net, and it is in the Snakebite Venom area yet again. Kersey sends it back. Sherry sends it back into the middle. Markvik going for a block. Passes it to Lafote. Lafote's going for the flick. Is it there? Chuko with the save. Ooh, what a game.
What a beautiful save. The chances there for Snakebite were real, but at the end of the day, there was a defender ready to follow up. And now it's once again Snakebite looking for one of those few chances. They're bumping each other a little bit too much, and therefore an open net happens, and this might be the end. This could spell disaster. Snakebite Venom is falling, and falling hard.
Absolutely, they've taken the poison out of the snake, and as you can see right now, 2-0 down. It looks pretty destined at this point for them to lose 3-2 in the series, but 17 seconds, anything can happen. Well, not if you're going to do that. The kickoff comes in, Kersey with the flick, and it is 3, and that must be game, set, and match right there.
Now, this is part of the anything can happen package. Kersey takes that control, learns a lot. And you know where you learn that? Once. The ability to slow down your play and get complete control and able to bamboozle your opponent that's standing in front of you. Once. This is my advice to all of you. If you want to become a Rocket League legend, play once. I think Mikey just left to go and play ones. Like, oh, that's a good one. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.
Facts, I'll just go do that. Don't mind me. What a series that we have just witnessed between Ascension, Kyrios, and Snakebite Venom. Sherry's going to be very happy with that. And to be honest, the Ascension Kyrios roster, they played pretty well. And Snakebite Venom, they didn't play badly. They just kept making the same small mistakes, and eventually it does keep being capitalized on. What a series that was, going to game number 5. And I did not expect it to go all the way. But how does it feel to be wrong, sir? I see your prediction over there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I predicted Snakebite while they were the complete underdog, and everybody thought this was probably going to be a sweep for Ascension. Brought it back to game 5 and almost got there. I believe in Markvik. I believe in Snakebite. They might not have won this one, but it doesn't mean they're down and out yet. We just have to have faith. Like the God, Emperor of Mankind that protects us all, we need to believe in Snakebite, and they will pull through for us.
Absolutely. And, Division 1.2, it's a very competitive division, and essentially Kyrios will be happy with that. Taking that extra point will take them up to 2nd place. So they should be pretty happy with that. Snakebite Venom, on the other hand, they are going to need to come back, and they're going to need to come back with a vengeance. They're going to need to come back fighting to stick in this division, to actually place pretty well. And I honestly think Snakebite Venom, the more that they play together and the more that they iron out their mistakes that we saw so many times, I feel like they will eventually get it. And they will eventually iron out their mistakes, and they will be, a pretty formidable force.
Definitely. As you saw, like Lafote, the way he started off playing was a bit shaky, but he went nuts in the rest of the series. I like the amount of performance that came out of that one player. Genius. I think Lafote himself is now saying in chat that's not going that well, but you, sir, played great. Yes, mistakes happen. Doesn't matter. You got back up on that horse and you started riding it into the sunset. You were almost there. That's not what everyone expected. So you're already fighting against that expectation and did very well. You and your team get to be proud, even though it is a loss. And for Ascension, yeah, this is what was supposed to happen. But they need to scratch themselves behind the ears a little bit, because they shouldn't have let it happen like this. They need to shore up their defenses big time.
Yeah, and I think, at the moment it might just be that little bit of getting rid of them mistakes. They should be extremely happy with how they played today, because on paper, Ascension Kyrios are the better roster. On paper, they should have flat out just pretty much stomped them. But Snakebite Venom, they took that to a game 5 and nearly completed that reverse sweep. And if you're that roster, you should be pretty happy with that, because that was pretty phenomenal. So we know, after that series, we only have one more series to come tonight. After we know that one of the other games is not going to take place. So later on, we will be seeing Fort Templar Saffron versus Ascension Helios in Division 2.1, and that will be at 9 p.m. CEST. Sherry will be producing that, so I can't wait to call him out on something at some point. But I'll be casting that with Dennis. It has been a pleasure, sir. How did you enjoy that series?
It was a beautiful series to cast, and like as well a beautiful person to cast it with. So thank you so much, and of course thank you to Faded as well, being the man behind the buttons, able to make it happen for us. We wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be this entertaining if it wasn't for him. So hands up for Faded as well.
Absolutely, absolute legend. And thank you guys to anybody hanging out in the chat who sat here and watched it with us. That was an absolutely epic series. Thank you for casting it alongside me, sir. It was an absolute pleasure as always. But we will be back at 9 p.m. CEST, and we will see you in a little bit.